What's up everyone, I'm back from Tennocon and quite frankly the hype from all those reveals still hasn't worn off yet. I was in the front row of the audience and the atmosphere was absolutely incredible. The reaction to all those reveals was insane and honestly my throat is still hurt even now from TennoLive. There was one part that stood out for me though, the part I was most excited for and was the most exciting for me. And that is what I want to talk about here, and that is the brand new thing they showed off, Railjack. Now, I was sat watching that Railjack demo thinking of a video I did quite a while ago, talking about the way The Division has a modular mission type, and it would be cool if Warframe, had a game mode similar, where you start off in Archwing, infiltrate a Corpus ship, sabotage it from the inside, and then exfiltrating on Archwing again. So as that Railjack demo went on, I was like, holy crap, this is almost exactly the same as that video. That is super cool. I didn't think anyone of us was really expecting that Railjack demo though. It came out of literally nowhere. The end of the Fortuna demo thinking that was over, only for the ship to swoop in, seamlessly pick us up, accelerating us out into space in the middle of the Venus planetary defense grid. I mean, I watched Megami's video on this actually yesterday, and I don't normally do that because I watch most content all the time, but I don't normally watch something that I'm about to make a video on. Because I just like to come up with my own feedback. But he was talking about the loading times, basically the times between certain things like the pickup and the flying out into space, which he believes might be the start of the removal of physical loading screens, and us moving into a more fluid way of loading into missions as well as moving around the star map. Kind of like, I want to say kind of like a Mass Effect kind of style. So I'm going to leave a link to the in the description below to Megamu's video so you can check that out and see what he's saying about it. Railjack, however, to me, is honestly the closest we're going to come to proper raids, or what I see as raids. Skill-based gameplay rather than a huge giant mess of crowd control that the old raids were. 4 people on a ship working together to take down these huge capital ships. That's what I envision raids to be. 1 person flying, 2 on the guns, 1 on damage control. It's incredible. If you've ever played Guns of Icarus, then you're going to know how all this feels, because it is very similar to the way that plays, with the multiple stations needed to work together to work towards the goal. Not only does there seem to be a whole bunch of teamwork involved, there's also the need for tactics and strategy, which we saw when they started playing around with ship power levels. Putting full power to the guns took power away from other key systems in the ship. So knowing what to do and when to do it is going to be something you're going to have to learn. And it's going to make the difference between a good crew and a mediocre one. Now I know people will raid because it only showed knocking out the shields of the capital ship. However, after chatting with Steve, he said it was only for demo purposes. There are going to be multiple potential objectives, such as the shields that we saw, stuff like knocking out engines, that sort of thing. So for those people worried about how samey things are going to feel and how quickly it's going to get boring, don't worry, it shouldn't feel too bad because it is going to have an element of randomness to it. I'm going to be honest with you all, I am super excited for this. It looks like a ton of fun and is a really cool way of bringing the solar rails back into the game again. Those things have been sat doing absolutely nothing for years, so for them to finally be a proper thing, I'm wanting that so badly. There's stuff in the game that just needs to tie in better. The use of space and integrating Archwing more into the game as a main part, rather than a side attraction that it kind of is now. I know Archwing is kind of polarizing, but the way it's only going to get better is by being a part of, a main part of things. The option to go from ship to space to ship is badass, and is worth iterating on Archwing for sure. I loved that sense of scale that it had, the massive Corpus ship, the capital ship launching smaller fighters that are still huge. Then when your Tenno boarding party gets on their Archwings, that sense of scale changes again, and you feel like an ant compared to all these huge ships flying around. That was something they absolutely nailed with this, not quite so much with standard Archwing enemies, but in Railjack it was spot on. Feeling small in the middle of a battle is fantastic. Actually, it reminds me a lot of being a tiny little frigate in the middle of a Titan fleet in EVE Online. You look around seeing all these ginormous ships and gives that sense of scale, like you are a small cog in a very big wheel and part of a much larger event. The best thing is though, that I've not talked about another super cool thing, and that is in fact when the Corpus are boarding your ship and taking the fight to you, they're going to be disrupting the tasks you're trying to carry out on your own ship. Whether you're putting out fires as a damage control party or hacking into the systems on the capital ship. Also having to deal with enemies slamming into the side of your ship on the boarding craft adds another level to what is going to quite frankly be chaos. It also means that team coordination is going to need to be key too. How many do you send over to the capital ship? Who gets left behind to defend? Can they manage to do everything they need to do while holding off the enemy boarding parties? This all goes back to what I was saying earlier about strategy and tactics. It's really going to be a squad effort to take these down. So, as you can see, I'm slightly excited for this. I think it really could be something to tie the whole universe together. Something which I think will make the game feel much fuller. Right now, all the nodes feel completely separate. Same for the planets, the planes, Fortuna. And since this is extremely unlikely to be specific to just Venus, it would tie in the whole ground and air units as well, ground and space. Plus, make it feel a lot more like an actual battle. Like, at the moment, we don't really see, apart from the odd thing where a Fomorian shows up, you don't really see these huge, insane, like, space battles between things. And this is remedying that. You know, apart from the odd Archwing nodes here or there, space has never really felt that tied into the game, which is funny because it's a game about space ninjas. However, with Railjack, that's not going to be for much longer. Let's see how this turns out. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to with this. I'm going to let the end of the gameplay just play on so you get to see the rest of the demo too. However, many thanks for watching. Look forward to reading your comments, and I shall see you in the next video.
Oh, target locked. It's time for the big gun. Full power to weapons.